So I did a video a few days ago regarding Studio Eclipse situation on their fan-based project on Berserk and the recreation of the Black Swordsman arc as a anime adaptation. Now we do have some developments regarding it. As you know, Studio Gaga and Aku Sencha, the rightful owners of Berserk, have made a statement regarding this animation, announcing that the production has not been authorized by Kentaro Miura, and in addition, the video accompanying the announcement are being displayed without their own permission. Now we do have some unfortunate developments on this. Studio Taka is a studio that has been doing these sorts of animated comics of Berserk on the likes of what Uzumaki is doing with their own anime that is to be released this month, I believe. They did these 2 episodes of the Berserk the Black Swordsman arc where it's basically like this sort of animated comic, and honestly it's pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's super well done. It does has its problems in my view, especially when it comes to like sound effects and music and voice acting, but whatever. What it aimed to do, I think it did really fucking well, and I think every Berserk fan appreciates all the work that they have done. Problem now is that Studio Taka has made an official statement after the developments of Studio Eclipse situation, and they say this: to our lovely fans, we've recently had an important discussion following the developments within the Berserk online community. As some of you may know, Studio Gaga, the right holders of Berserk, recently took a public stance regarding the release of Berserk content without proper authorization. Naturally, this has implications to all of the Berserk fan projects, including ours. After thoughtful consideration exploring all possible options, we have made the very difficult decision to bring this project to a close. Bro, this is like so fucking sad because these guys actually made like 2 really fucking cool episodes on this, and you know, they proved that they knew what the fuck they were doing regardless, right? And it's so sad. Like I'm laughing, but this is just fucking like, we Berserk fans really get the fucking treatment we deserve. We fucking struggle, dude. It's insane. Now, to be fair, I do find a little bit odd how Studio Eclipse hasn't really made any sort of statement regarding this whole situation. The only thing that we do know is that they responded to a question, I believe this is from their Patreon, if this image is true, I'm assuming it is, where one of their Patreons asked, isn't the anime cancelled anyway? I saw the official Berserk account making a statement and saying it wasn't authorized and there's copyright issues. Studio Eclipse responded to this saying, fan projects have been taken down by companies in certain situations, but not here. The statement was making clear this project is completely unrelated to them and no licensed yet. We're trying to sort things out with the publishers as soon as it's possible and realistic for the situation, since our original plan was to do it when episode 1 was ready. That way they could see the quality we're trying to achieve and have higher chances to get the approval. It's kind of true what they're saying. Studio Gaga did say like, yo, we got nothing to do with this. It didn't really say that they were going to do anything about it. So that's something to take into account. But you know, I do find kind of weird how they didn't really make an official statement. This is just from a Patreon comment, right? I'm not entirely sure why, because they even respond here. Maybe it's just not to be controversial. One thing is, if they cancel the project, it would be easy. They kind of would make like a statement like Studio Taka did and be done with it. But they probably want to continue, and the way that they probably think, it's like anything that we say, it's probably not gonna sound good, so we might as well just not say anything. I don't know. I'm just trying to guess the way that they're thinking about this. Just a side note, there was this news a couple of weeks ago by now that Dark Horse releases Berserk manga's 42nd volume in March 2025. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't really say here if the new chapter 377 is coming out with this volume or before it. So unfortunately, I think we might have to wait a little bit more for the next chapter to come around, even though we already know that it's already been made and it's like ready to ship, which, you know, it is what it is. It wouldn't actually surprise me to know that Studio Gaga has already made a bunch of chapters of Berserk, and for some fucking reason Dark Horse is probably just holding on to them for marketing purposes, you know? From a marketing standpoint, it's probably good to not release that many episodes, or many chapters, I mean, of Berserk, because it keeps people coming in. So I don't know. It's very unfortunate that Studio Taka decided to cease their fan project. It was actually a really fucking nice project. I was really interested to see more of how they would develop their comic and, you know, how they would improve, but it's unfortunate that it's so, even though I completely understand their situation. I do want to mention how in my last video there seemed to be a lot of polarized opinions regarding Berserk Studio Eclipse adaptation, and I kind of understand it. A lot of people are very frustrated, me included. Berserk is like one of the most influential animes, mangas out there. It never really got like a proper anime that would showcase, for example, the Black Swordsman arc, or, you know, the rest of the arcs like the Conviction arc, or, you know, the Fantasia arc now in a proper way, and we would love to see that. Dude, honestly, like, one thing that I've always thought about, like, for a couple of years now, is that animes in the 90s and I would say probably early 2000s, but you can already see in the early 2000s a lot of shift going on. But man, animes before were so much more, I don't know, now they're so sanitized. They really followed a lot of the trends that modern entertainment went for. Man, anime was so fucking brutal at times. It was vicious. It was visceral. It was something so hauntingly beautiful, I would say. But it kind of lost that. I feel like there's not really a lot of mature animes, you know? I think the closest that we can get from a mature anime these days is probably Vinland Saga, but even this anime, man, I'm not saying that Vinland Saga is a bad anime by any means. It's pretty good, but I don't know, there's something about it that feels too, it's still trying to follow a lot of the trends of a lot of recent animes, you know what I mean? What colors do they use, and the sort of very digitalized sort of animations and all that sort of stuff. I think you guys know what I mean. I'm not saying that Vinland Saga is a bad anime. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just an old schooler, I guess. If you like this video, subscribe, and yeah, have a good one. See ya.